My name is Mo. I go by Mosey on social media, and we have over here.
What's going on? My name is Bobby T. I go by just Bobby T, and so we have a story to share for everybody.
Left a little gift. Figure it out.
As soon as I saw that clip on Twitter and Instagram. By the way, why am I even obsessed about this picture? You might be like, for those who don't understand and don't have any knowledge about this whole thing, it's pretty much a doodle that Gary drew, and he said, figure it out. I drew this, and if you're not in tune with Gary Vee, on October 1st, he had 5 doodles that he sold at Christie's auction house for $1.2 million.
It was a humbling day.
Humbling day, collectively selling for about $1.3 million. These 5 drawings, absolutely incredible. Here's a breakdown. The empathetic elephant, gratitude gorilla, diamond hands, you're gonna die fly, and tremendous tiger. Pretty impressive, Gary.
So let's take a step back, Mo. What time was it, and what were you doing when you saw this?
Okay.
Were you at home? Were you brushing your teeth?
I was at home. I think I was about to have like dinner or something so it was around like 7 p.m. I don't know, something around that time.
Yep.
I was kind of like, whatever, let's just move on. And in my mind, I was like, I should go, but I should not go.
Yesterday was a crazy day, and to start from the beginning, about a year ago, and we're going way back, I had opportunity to jump on Tea of Gary Vee, where we had a great chat, and I had a call to action where I was hoping that I could interview Gary Vee when he was coming and stopping over to Edmonton. And due to the pandemic and due to just, I can imagine his scheduling, they pushed it back until the event dropped yesterday. Understanding, Mo, that he was coming to the city, I decided to kind of create a short video clip of that kind of agreement where he said he would allow me to interview him.
Yeah.
And I put it on social media, and I asked everyone, a bunch of people, could you tag him, tag his team, and let's see if I could hopefully land that interview.
And by the way, correct me if I'm wrong, you weren't planning on doing that.
I wasn't planning on doing that.
Which is crazy.
I was just going to allow it to be like, whatever, I guess I missed that opportunity. But then I don't know what was in me that said, just do it. What do you have to lose? You know what I mean? So
okay, walk us
fast
through.
forward through that.
Yeah.
Did it, got hit up by Zach, who was part of his team, who then quickly connected me with D-Rock, who was obviously touring.
I'm going to pause you there for a second. I remember before you did that, as when I woke up that morning and I saw that, I was like tagging Team Gary Vee, Team Gary, and like anyone, V Friends. I was like, whoever I was able to tag. And then we had a conversation on the phone because you're like, you're going to do this. I was like, bro, that's so hype and so dope that you did this. I'm like, maybe we can even film the whole thing for you so you can just not focus on setting up cameras. And I'm like, I'll be your D-Rock. I'm like, that's literally what I told you.
100%.
Right?
When I first reached out to got them and I got that confirmation, I immediately kind of hit you up, Mo, and I said, hey, look, this is unfolding, this is what's happened. And I gave you the first little snippet to say like, hey, I think I landed this. And so that was so dope that you could offer that. However, unfortunately, due to their team and I guess due to the requirements, they couldn't get another person in or another 2 people in to kind of document it. So I had to do it myself.
Which is understandable. Like, because I remember around just before 5, it was around like 4:30.
Yeah.
You told me like, it's gonna be too hard. I was like, you know what, all good. I'm just gonna go home.
And you were working too.
I was doing a live stream. So like, I just got back from LA, and it's just so much going on. And at this point, I didn't see the picture, by the way, or the doodle. So okay, and then you take it over.
Yeah.
So how was the interview?
So the interview was so dope. Like ultimately, first off, Gary was super chill. He was just like another zone. It was just myself, another dude who had a podcast called Tea with Mike, and then D-Rock, and then Gary. And I had 10 minutes that felt like 10 seconds. But got the time in, chopped it up, had a great conversation, sat down and heard that other interview. And then after that, it was just a wrap. So after that interview was done, Gary went to do his little thing with amongst the kind of team that was there.
Yeah.
And then I just waited, watched his keynote. His keynote was dope, had some great insights. It was weird to see him in Edmonton. And then after that, I was like, fuck, still hyped up, still pumped up. I was like, let me call some of my most creative, like inspirational people to keep this high going. So I immediately called you, Bo.
Oh man, I feel so blessed because like you guys have to understand the story of events, how this unfolded to get back to the doodle story. So Robert called me. Bobby called me out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
And then
And this was again to keep everyone's time. The interview was about 4:30. Sorry, it was about 5 p.m.
Mountain Time.
Yeah. And then the show
event-
ended at about 9 p.m. was when the show ended, and so that's when I first called Mo.
So by that time, I've already seen the story and I've forgotten about it. I took a screenshot of it. I was like, I'll get back to it. And I moved on to do my other tasks that I need to do. Because we
Yeah.
talked for a good, like, I would say 20, maybe even 30 minutes. I don't know if
30
I'm
minutes.
stretching it, like, without even mentioning this doodle thing. And I also have to backtrack a little bit here. At the event, you met someone extremely valuable that's going to play a big, important role for later on.
No, so again, Gary V's team is dope. And one of
Yes,
the
big shout out.
One of the coolest people who I met is D-Rock. Like during the interview, if you can imagine, I'm here interviewing Gary Vee on the podcast, and D-Rock decides to take a whole bunch of pictures of his cell phone, of it from different angles and some video clips and
Yeah.
things, and then send it to me via message. Like he didn't have to do that.
So he got your number.
Yeah, so we had our own numbers exchanged because I had to coordinate with him on site because
Sick.
I mean it's a big stadium, so
100%.
I had to go back and forth with him to organize that. So I had his number, and then he sent me those pictures and emails. So again, like his team is dope.
Big shout out to D-Rock, and we'll tell you how he played a crucial role. So we have a conversation for 30 minutes, and then you say something that triggers the whole doodle thing.
Yeah.
Now, so then you trigger something. I'm like, oh, bro. I'm like, Gary left this doodle.
So Mo tells me about this, sends me the screenshot, and I'm driving back home downtown.
Yeah,
where
you were
the
just going home.
where the Fairmont's located.
Yeah, you were just going home, right?
100%.
Yeah, you're
And
not thinking about any of this.
not only that, I didn't want to do anything else. I wanted to go home. I'm tired.
because he's tired. He's
I'm
tired. He's
tired.
going home. So I live south of the city, and I was like, listen.
30 minutes away from
I was like, if
40
I go all the way to this Fairmont and then I don't have access to it, there's no point. Like, I'm just like wasted like an hour of my time trying to get.
Or if
this.
it's gone.
Or if it's gone,
which
because
is likely.
we were like pretty set that it was not there. But he lives downtown. I was like, you're literally like 5 minutes away. Just go spend a few amount of minutes just to go ask. And I was like, Robert, please go do it. This is worth something. And we're like, we'll go 50-50 if you find this thing. If
So-
you find this thing, we'll find it. So, okay, go on.
So right now it's about 10 p.m. He says that. I'm like, Mosey, all right, cool.
I convinced him.
Gary sent that tweet, that video about 4 p.m.-ish.
Yeah, and then it was around like 10:30 at this point.
And it was 10:30 around this
Something,
point.
yeah.
So I'm like,
You're like, there's no way. You were just saying in your head.
not even that. I wasn't even there. I was like, I'm going to look like a lunatic.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to walk to the Fairmont, which is literally the most premium hotel in this city. I'm going to approach the place, and I'm going to say, excuse me, I need this piece of paper doodle. If you don't mind, it's located in this room. Could you go get it? Like, are you kidding me? Like, let's call it what it is. I'm a 6'2" black guy with a mask on going to this luxury hotel to do this. I did not want to do it.
But
It was like, are you kidding me?
so my justification, I was like, listen, you and one other person were able to meet Gary, and you have a photo with him. I'm like, just show that as proof. I was like, if I go, I have nothing. I will just be like, yeah, you're just a liar. Like, just why do you want to go in? So, like, I'm so glad you went. Okay,
Totally.
so you get there.
So I'm
you
like,
get there.
So I'm like, we're still on the phone.
Yeah.
I finally pull up. I'm like,
All right,
I'm like,
yeah,
Mo,
that's right.
I'm walking in. I'll call you back. I did not want to go in there. And so then I hung up the phone. I'm like, so I'm walking up. I go up the steps. I see the front desk. There's these two young ladies. And I'm like, okay. So I laid it in. I was like, this is going to sound weird, but my name is Bobby. And I was just with Gary Vee and a guy named D-Rock. And like, imagine this. I said D-Rock. That's not his real name. That's the nickname. But I said D-Rock. And this lady's like, okay. And I was like, they left this doodle in their room. Could you go get it? And they said it's okay. And I smiled through the mask. So then after she says, okay, I can't let you in this room of this guest. I was like, oh, no, I don't want to go. You go.
Even better.
Crazy. So then,
And then Okay, go ahead.
She immediately said to me, which I was just like a little bit disappointed. She says, "Hey, I can't let you just come in this room. You have to get permission. You have to get them to call me."
From my understanding is that you have to confirm what room number they were in. She was testing you.
Correct.
She was testing you.
So then I was just like, shit. So let me just quickly check.
Oh,
so then
guess what?
I text D-Rock. I'm like, yo, D-Rock, I'm here to pick up this NFT, but they're not letting me. Could you tell me what room number? So both D-Rock and Gary Vee are already on their way to the airport at this time, which is now 10:30. And then he said, yeah, no problem. Yeah, take it. It's yours. It's yours. Gary said it's yours.
And Gary
I got the text.
gave you the okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I got
And
the green
you
light.
You
So
got the
I
green.
was like, whoa, got it. Gave them the information. And plus, that was just a quick text. Give them the information. They're like, okay, cool. This guy knows, like, there's a lot of rooms. So they knew the room number. So he said, okay, cool. Then she said, which kind of triggered me. She said, I need them to call. I can't go into that room.
So
they're still checked in.
That to me made me. I by the way, I'm like just pacing at this time. I'm like, oh, I hope Bobby's got this, man. I hope Bobby. I'm like, yo, there's actually a chance. It's maybe a 5% chance, a 1% chance, but I don't care. But I think she did that in case somebody somebody pretended they were D-Rock.
100%.
Yeah. So
and also, I guess I magically could have figured out and MacGyvered the room number. I guess.
Yeah.
But technically, they were still checked into the room. Because they were leaving the next day. Like, you don't check into a room for half a day. It's the whole night.
Which is why I also wanted you to go, because the cleaners didn't go in the room yet. Because I was like, wait, the cleaners couldn't have been there. There's only either somebody from the hotel or somebody else.
Totally.
So anyways, so she tests you.
Yeah. And the thing is, a text message is something you can do. That's easy.
That's right.
She requested a phone call.
Phone call.
A phone call is now work. So I'm sitting here looking at my phone like, I gotta now ask D-Rock or Gary Vee, could they call the hotel so that they can give me this doodle? Insane again. So I said, let me text D-Rock to see if he would call. And like, bless his heart.
You have to remember, I think at this point as well,
Yeah.
sorry, bless D-Rock's heart, but I think at this point I was like, Bobby, you better not leave this place. Because I was texting him links of like what Christie's auction house. I'm like, this is what it's worth. I'm like, this is something to fight for. Like, this is what Gary lives for. You have to be there.
And I did not want to bug or be a pester at this point. So I was like, you know what? Like, screw it. It's not worth it. But Mo sent that text. I saw that. I was like, all right, I can't leave. So then I sent another text with the phone number saying, here's the direct line. Could you please call? He says, give me a few minutes. So I'm like, shit. Parked my ass down, took a screenshot of where we're at, and I sent it to Mo.
Drop the screenshot.
And I sent it
you sent me the screenshot, and then you also take a screenshot or a picture right in the Fairmont. You're just like, I'm chilling here. I'm away here. Because I was like, Bobby, do not leave until you get a confirmation that thing is stolen or went missing or somebody just took it. And then be like, okay, we tried. At least we did our best.
100%. So then fast forward, D-Rock finally calls them, and they said, hey, cool. We got the phone call. I'm going to go up to the room to go get it. And that's when my heart started pounding. I was like, holy shit, is this really going to happen?
Oh, my God.
She goes upstairs and then radios her partner and her friend and says, it's not in the room. It's not in the desk. It's not here. I was just like, damn, what a waste of time. And then instantaneously, I text D-Rock. I said, hey, they can't find it. Do you know where it is at? And he's like, no, I don't know. Should be right there. And I said, respect, love, thank you, but didn't get it. And then the lady then says in the radio, she's like, oh, is this on the gold desk? Did you check the gold desk? She's like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gold desk. Like, what's the gold desk? I don't know, Fairmont, but the gold desk is the spot. So then she checks the gold desk. She's like, got it. I heard her say got it. I was like, she got it? She got it?
Oh my God.
So then, I kid you not, she then comes in the elevator and she has this paper and she just comes over there and she's like, here you go. And I was just like, I was like, thank you. And I was like, and I darted out. And that's when I called you, Mo.